Hello students, welcome to Narayan PU College online classes. So in the last video we have discussed about the anomalous properties of nitrogen. So we have given there 4 reasons why nitrogen behaves differently from the elements of the same group, and that we have already given. The first one is because of small size, high electronegativity, high ionization enthalpy and absence of d orbitals, and also properties which nitrogen differ from the other elements of the 15th group I have already discussed. And the first one is p pi multiple bond, and second one is catenation, and third one is reactivity, and d pi multiple bond formation and maximum covalency. This is all we have discussed. And the next concept today is reactivity towards hydrogen. Next one is reactivity towards hydrogen. Clear ma? Put the heading reactivity towards hydrogen. Clear ma? So reactivity towards hydrogen. Hydrogen means formation of hydrides. This is clear, no? Clear? So when 15th group elements and react with hydrogen and forms, here the first point, and these 15th group elements react with hydrogen and forms EH3 type hydride. Which type of hydride it will form? EH3 type. E means what here? E is equal to 15th group elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. Clear? So this is about, means whenever 15th group elements and which type of 15th group elements forms and EH3 type of hydrides, and E means here this is. Now here what type of hydrides? Here element, I will write here element. Clear ma? Hydride name. Element, hydride and name. Table like you draw here. First one is nitrogen will form which type of hydride ma here? NH3. What we will call this? Ammonia. What is the name of this hydride ma here? Ammonia. In the same way, phosphorus PH3, and this is phosphine. What is the name of this PH3? Phosphine. In the same way, arsenic, it will form AH3 type hydride. This we will called as phosphine. And same Sb and SbH3 stibine. This name SbH3 means stibine. And Bi, what is the hydride type here? BiH3 bismuthine. So these are the 15th group elements and forms here EH3 type of hydrides. Clear here? And that, and some lighter elements of this 15th group elements, nitrogen, nitrogen, phosphorus and arsenic also form here dihydrides. What it will form here? Dihydrides. Clear? Like what it is here? N2H4 and P2H4 AS2H4. This type of means dihydrides. Clear? And very important, nitrogen forms here special one hydride. Clear ma? Nitrogen forms and one hydride, that is N3H, special hydride here, hydrozoic acid. What we will call here? Hydrozoic acid. Clear? So these are about the hydrides of 15th group elements, and we will discuss how to prepare these hydrides and what are the properties. All we will discuss one by one. And here and 15th group elements form EH3 type of hydrides, and E means what it is, 15th group elements, and here the hydrides and the name of these hydride: NH3 ammonia, PH3 phosphine, ASH3 here arsine. This is clear ma? So what I have written again, phosphine I have written arsine. Clear ma? This is arsine and stibine and bismuthine, and nitrogens lighter elements means nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic can also form dihydrides like this. Clear ma? And nitrogen form here one special hydride that we will called as a N3H, we will called as a hydrozoic acid. Next one is preparation method. Clear? How we will prepare this 15th group hydrides. Clear ma? The first one is here, only one method is there, by hydrolysis of metal binary compounds or binary metal compounds. You can write here binary metal compounds. Clear ma? Simply do the hydrolysis of these compounds, then you will get the respective hydride. Suppose first I will take here magnesium nitride. What it is here? Magnesium nitride, Mg3, because nitrogen valency is 3, magnesium valency is 2, so crisscross method if you do, you will get Mg3N2, Mg3N2, and do this is what we will call here magnesium. Clear ma? Magnesium nitride. When it is hydrolyzed with the water, or you can do with the dilute acids also, then what the compound you will get is MgOH twice plus you will get here NH3. Clear ma? What you are getting here? Ammonia, because I have taken a nitride here, so I will get the ammonia. If I take phosphide, then I will get the phosphine. Clear ma? So next one, you see here balance equation. How many magnesiums are there? 3, and I will put here. How many nitrogens are there? 2, I will put here. Then you balance, and hydrogens you balance here. 2 into 3, 6, and here 6, total 12. 12 means I have to put here 6. Clear ma? So this is how we can prepare. And next one is, if I take here phosphide, magnesium phosphide. What it is ma here? Magnesium phosphide. If I take magnesium phosphide, do the here same balancing, everything will be same. You will get here and 3 moles of magnesium hydroxide instead of ammonia. You will get what it is ma? Phosphine. Clear ma? And arsenide, suppose if I take not only magnesium, you can take any metal, zinc arsenide, I will write As2. What we will call here? Zinc arsenide. Clear ma? So same, and do this one with the hydrolysis, you will get the 3 moles of 3 moles of zinc hydroxide, magnesium hydroxide, and 2 moles of AsH3 arsine. Clear ma? In the same way, take here magnesium stibide, Sb2. Clear ma? Magnesium, what we will call this is stibide. Clear? Then I will take now, I have mentioned here hydrolysis. Hydrolysis can be done directly by the water or by the acids. If I take, suppose I will change here HCl, you can take water also, no problem. Then what the reaction? You see Mg and Cl will be removed as a MgCl2, and hydrogen and Sb will be formed, stibine. Clear ma? So means how many magnesiums are there? 3. I have to multiply with the 3. Then how many chlorine atoms will be there here? 6. 6 means I have to multiply this one with the 6. Then how many hydrogens are there here? 6 hydrogens are there. 6 hydrogens are there means I have to multiply this one with the 2. Balanced or not? Same. And in the same way, and magnesium stibide and magnesium bismuthide, and clear, you will get HCl same. You will get 3 moles of magnesium chloride, and plus what it is ma here, you will get 2 moles of bismuthine. Clear? So this is the how to prepare, and here 15th group hydrides. Take the nitride, you will get the ammonia, phosphide, phosphine, arsenide, arsine, and stibide, stibine, and bismuthide, you will get the bismuthine. And these are the preparation, how we will prepare this 15th group elements. Clear? Next one is properties. And here much very important, these properties. Clear? Because so many times they are asking in the competitive examination. Clear? So the first one in this preparation means properties. First we will discuss about the structure. Clear? And first we will discuss about the structure, and after then we will go for the properties. Clear? First we will discuss about structure. Structure of this 15th group elements. You know 15th group elements, what is the hydride here? EH3. Clear? E means you already know 15th group element. 15th group element means what is the electronic configuration? NS2 NP3. NS2 NP3 means here 2 electrons, and in the p orbital how many electrons are there? 3 electrons are there. Right? Means these unpaired electrons involved in the bond formation with the 3 hydrogens. Clear? So that's why you will get EH3, and one lone pair is present on the where? E means what it is? 15th group elements. So that's why you know that. And hybridization, what is the hybridization of this 15th group hydrides means? sp3 hybridization. What is the hybridization? sp3 hybridization. So how many bond pairs and how many lone pairs are there here? 3 bond pairs. Clear? 3 bonds are there. So that's why you have 3 bond pairs. Directly I am writing 3 bond pairs plus 1 lone pair. You know that whenever in the first year chemical bonding you might have studied, and 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair, what is the shape of that molecule? And molecule shape is pyramidal shape. What is the shape of molecule? Pyramidal shape. Clear? So means if you take here E, and there will be a hydrogen, and here hydrogen and hydrogen, and there is a 1 lone pair of electron. Clear? And you can take, instead of E here, you can take the nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic and antimony. Now we have to discuss what about the, suppose if I write here NH3, NH3 means what it is? N, if you put instead of E, if I take the NH3. Now we have to discuss about here bond angle. Clear? This is very important. So what will happen to the bond angle, and that we will discuss in the properties one by one. First I will discuss here only, then we will go for the property. It will not come under the property. Clear? Now here the bond angle will be there. What is the bond angle? This is bond angle. These are the bond angle. What is the bond angle here? If I am moving from the ammonia to, if I move from the bismuthine, clear? What is the bond angle? How the bond angle varies? That we have to discuss here. Clear? And suppose if I take the first one is here NH3. Clear? I take here suppose NH3. See now what happened? Bond angle. So H and H and H. Clear? So I will write here bond angle order. What is the bond angle order? Clear? Bond angle, if I write, NH3 will have highest bond angle compared to the remaining. AsH3 and SbH3, and the last one is BiH3. Clear? If you take this one 107 here, and this is 93.6, and this is 91.8, 91.3 and 91 degrees. This is the bond angle. Clear? So why this difference? Means why, if you are moving from the nitrogen to means ammonia to bismuthine, why bond angle decreases? Clear here? You know that if I take suppose first one ammonia, nitrogen and hydrogen, which one is more electronegative? Nitrogen is more electronegative than the hydrogen. So that's why these bond pair electrons are there in this bond. These bond pair electrons are very close to nitrogen, because nitrogen is more electronegative than the hydrogen. So here also these bond electrons are very close to each other. Means these bond electrons are very close to nitrogen. Clear? See now, and these two bond electrons are close to adjacent bond pair electrons are close to each other. So electrons are very close to each other. What will happen? Repulsions. Got the point here? Repulsion takes place when they are coming very close, and here it is there. Here bond electrons are there. Due to that repulsion, to avoid that repulsions, these two hydrogens will move away from each other. Whenever they are moving away from each other, means this bond will try to move this side and this bond will try to move this side. Then what will happen? Previous are like this. Clear? Electrons are here. Electronic repulsions are more. So these to avoid that electronic repulsions, these two bonds will move away from each other. When they are moving away from each other, bond angle increases. Got the point? So that's why for the ammonia, the here electronic repulsions of the adjacent bond pair electrons are maximum in ammonia. And if I take suppose bismuthine means same structure is same only. Here hydrogen and here hydrogen. Clear? So it is a metal and it is having less electronegativity. So that's why these bond electrons are away from the bismuth, and here also these are away from bismuth. So that's why what will happen? And and the distance between these bond pair electrons are large compared to here. When they are large, electrons are here. Clear? Electrons are here. Bond pair electrons are away from each other. So that's why what will happen? They will come close each other till they experience the repulsions. So that's why previous are here, and they will come close to each other till they experience the repulsions. So that's why bond angle what will happen? Decreases. Clear? So that is what is the reason for this one? The reason for this one is electronic repulsions, repulsive forces, repulsion forces of adjacent bond pair electrons maximum in ammonia. Clear? So that's why bond angle will be high and here bond angle will be low. Got the point here? This is. Next one is here properties of hydrides. So we have discussed about the preparations of hydrides and structure of hydrides also we have discussed, and bond angle. Clear? Next one is properties of hydrides. Very important concept. Clear? In the competitive so many times they are asking. The first one is here boiling point. The first one here is boiling point. Clear? So what happens here, the boiling points of this 15th group elements. So when we are moving down the group from the ammonia to bismuthine, clear, what happens to the boiling point? Increases or decreases? And you already know that the boiling points and melting points depends upon the size. Clear? As the size are molecular mass, automatically size increases, molecular mass also, molar mass also increases. Clear? So as the size increases, van der Waals forces increases. Van der Waals forces increases. You already know melting and boiling points also increases. That is the concept here. Clear? So if you consider ammonia means molar mass. If you compare with the bismuthine, NH3 and BiH3, BiH3 is having the means molar mass high, and also size also bigger. So that's why. And bismuthine, if you are moving from the NH3 to bismuthine, the boiling points will increases. Clear? So what should be the order here is NH3 should have the less, and after then PH3 and ASH3, next one is SBH3, last one is BH3. This should be the order actually. Why? As as we are moving from the NH3 to BH3, nitrogen to bismuth, size increases, van der Waals forces increases, melting and boiling points also increases. But this is not the correct order. So what is the correct order here is, what is that one is PH3 and next one is AHS3, and here NH3 will come, NH3, SBH3, and less than what it is here BiH3. See here, actually this should be, nitrogen should have the lowest boiling point compared to the remaining all hydride, but nitro means NH3 is having here in the middle. Clear? So what is the reason for this? This is the correct order. For the which one here? Boiling point order. Clear? So what is the reason means here? Why nitrogen is having high boiling points than the phosphine and arsine means because of, clear ma? So because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding exist in ammonia. Clear no? Means hydrogen bond. Ammonia forms hydrogen bonds. Among the molecules, hydrogen bonds will be formed. Suppose if I take here NH3, clear ma? Shall I write this is NH3, and if I write another ammonia molecule here, and this is hydrogen, and you know among the ammonia molecules hydrogen bonds are existed. So that's why what will happen ma here? See now, this is what will happen. Nitrogen and hydrogen, highly electronegative atom and hydrogen bond, and here also what it is ma? Hydrogen bond, and here also hydrogen bonds. If I write suppose another ammonia here, H and H, this hydrogen also will involved in the which one ma? Hydrogen bonding. Clear ma? I will not write, I am writing like this means these are also involved in the which one ma? Hydrogen bonding. So that's why due to this hydrogen bonding, clear ma? Due to this intermolecular hydrogen bonding existed among the nitrogen molecules. So these are extra bonds. Extra hydrogen bond means remaining elements cannot form the hydrogen bonds among the molecule, because to form a hydrogen bonding highly electronegative element is required. And which one is highly element here? Electronegative element here, nitrogen. So that's why nitrogen can only form hydrogen bonds with the among the molecule of the hydrogen. So that's why you know that due to this reason NH3 is having high boiling points than the phosphine and arsine. Clear ma? But here compared to you know SbH3 and BH3, they ammonia is having low boiling point. Why? Because means here van der Waals forces dominates hydrogen bonding. So that's why these two molecules will have high boiling points than the ammonia. This is the about what it is here, boiling point. And next one here is second property, melting point. Clear ma? Melting points. Clear? Boiling point we have already discussed, and now what it is here? Melting points. Clear? Melting points I already said, melting points and boiling points depends upon the size. As the size increases, van der Waals forces increases, and automatically boiling and melting points also increases. Then you know that if you are moving from the nitrogen to bismuth, you know size increases, we are moving down the group, size increases. So that's why ammonia molecule should have the lowest melting point than the which one ma? Remaining all molecule SbH3 and BH3, but this is also wrong. Clear? So what happened here? What is the exactly this? It should be the order boiling points, because NH3 is a small molecule and BH3 is a bigger molecule. Bigger molecule means van der Waals forces existed here. Compared to NH3, van der Waals forces increase here among the BiH3 molecules. So that's why it should have highest boiling point, and NH3 should have lowest melting point. So that's why, but this order is wrong. What is the correct order means this is the correct order. You see some exceptional cases, not exceptional it is, why? Because means because it will form the same reason, intermolecular hydrogen bonding. But melting point means it is for the solids, and these hydrogen bonds are very strong in the solid. So that's why what will happen here, ammonia will have the highest melting point. Why? Because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding in what it is ma? NH3. That is the reason why NH3 is having the highest melting point. Clear? It is a liquid. Liquid means these hydrogen bonds, compared to the solids, the hydrogen bonds in the liquids are weak, but in the solids the hydrogen bonds are very strong. So that's why very strong. To break those hydrogen bonds you have to supply lot of heat energy. So these van der Waals forces here, hydrogen bond dominates here van der Waals forces, so that's why it will have the highest melting point. Clear ma? And next one, third one is, this is which order ma here? Melting point order of melting point. Clear ma? This is. And the next one is stability of hydrides. Clear ma? What is the stability of hydride? What is the order of stability of these hydrides? Clear? You know that if I write stability, nitrogen and hydrogen, you know, nitrogen is also small molecule and hydrogen also, you know, small, and there is very small difference in the sizes of the nitrogen and hydrogen, so that's why, and the bond between the nitrogen and hydrogen is very strong. Clear ma? So that's why what happened, if you are going from the nitrogen to, means ammonia to bismuthine is a very big molecule and hydrogen is very small molecule, then what will happen ma? The bond overlapping of this orbital will be weak, you will get the weak bond between the bismuth and hydrogen. And simple, you know that nitrogen NH3 is more stable compared to the remaining PH3, and you know ASH3 and SbH3, and the last one is BiH3. Clear ma? Simple. You see here nitrogen is a small molecule and hydrogen also small molecule. Small molecules means what it is ma? Bond will be very strong. You know, simple. And you know, small kids are there, you know, 5 years boy and 5 years boy, and you know, their you know, thinking almost equal. Clear ma? They can, so that's why friendship between them is very strong. Clear? So that's why this bond is very strong. If atoms are small, and bond will be strong. Clear? And here, you know, this is very big one and this is very small one. So you know that here the bond is not that much strong. One is 60 years person and another one is 5-year boy, you know. So their thoughts will not match each other. So that's why what it is, that bond is not that much strong. The friendship between the 60 years old and 5 years boy, the, you know, that friendship is not that much strong, so it is, the bond is very weak. Clear? That is simple example. Clear? So this is the stability order. Clear? And next one, fourth one, reducing power. What it is ma here? Reducing power. Clear? And reducing power means, you know that the tendency means, reducing power means act as a reducing agent. Clear ma? Among the 15th group elements, means 15th group hydride, which one will having the highest reducing power, that we have to discuss. Reducing power means the capacity to reduce the other molecules. Clear ma? That we can call as a reducing agent also. The tendency means here, if you take the reducing agent, what it will do? It reduces other molecules. How it reduces other molecules? By providing the hydrogens. Clear ma? Means in this, among this hydride, which hydride is having tendency to release the hydrogens easily, and that hydride will act as a strong reducing agent, or we can say that hydride having highest reducing power. Clear? So just simple it is, reducing agent means what it will do? It will reduces the other compounds by providing which one ma? Hydrogens, because here hydrogens are there, so that's why we have taken this concept. Clear ma? So which one gives the hydrogen, which molecule gives the hydrogen very easily, and that will have the highest reducing power. Clear? So which one will give the highest, means easily hydrogens here, because which is least stable, that will give the hydrogens very easily, because here bismuth and hydrogen bond, this is hydrogen and bismuth, this bond is weak, so that's why this bond breaks very easily and it can provide the hydrogens to other substance, so that's why other substance get reduced. Clear ma? So that's why what is the reducing power here? The reducing power, if you compare, NH3 will have the least. Why? Because nitrogen and hydrogen, you know, sizes are very almost similar, so that's why the bond is very strong. If the bond is very strong, will this ammonia give the hydrogens to other substance? No. So that's why it will have the least reducing power. So that's why NH3, PH3, ASH3, and next one is what it is ma? SbH3 and BiH3. You know, this is BiH3 is a powerful reducing agent, or you can say BiH3 is a powerful means it has reducing maximum reducing power. Clear ma? So this is about the reducing power. And the next one is basic nature. Next one is what it is ma here? Basic nature. Clear? Basic nature. You know that you know that here if I take NH3 PH3 all will have the lone pair of electrons. Suppose if I take NH3 PH3 ASH3, clear ma? All will have 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. I already mentioned. What is the basic character means here? We have to take the Lewis acid and basic theory. Clear ma? According to the Lewis base, clear ma? Electron pair donor is a Lewis base and electron pair acceptor is a Lewis acid. You have already studied in the first year, right ma? So now all these hydrides having nitrogen means central atom is having, you know, 1 lone pair of electron. So lone pair of electron means how to define the basic character means the capacity or the tendency to donate the electrons to other easily. That we will consider as a basic character. Clear? Here NH3 all are having the pair of electrons. Which one will donate the pair of electrons easily? That is a strong base. Clear? So that's why NH3, if I take NH3, nitrogen, you know, nitrogen small atom, it is having lone pair of electron. If I take last one, this is what it is, just assume NH3 central atom, nitrogen here, on this nitrogen 1 lone pair of electron is there. You know bismuth is having another 1 lone pair of electron. It is also having lone pair electron, 1 only. It is also having 1 lone pair of electron. Both are having same lone pair electron, but which one donates lone pair of electron easily? That you have to identify. Compared to BiH3, NiH3 means nitrogen can donate the lone pair of electrons very easily. Why? Because it is small size, so that's why, and electron density will be more on this nitrogen. Availability of these electrons to donate is maximum here, but here these lone pair of electrons occupy large volume. Large volume means this may be here, or sometimes this may be here, or sometimes this may be here. If anyone is coming, suppose electron deficient species coming here. Clear ma? So if I take CMA here, nitrogen is having small size. This is what it is ma? Small size. This is nitrogen. It is having 1 lone pair of electron, and bismuth is also having 1 lone pair of electron. What is the basic basicity? The tendency of tendency of the electron to donate, that we will call as a basic nature. Clear ma? And now here to donate the lone pair of electron should be available easily. Clear ma? See now, and if it is small in size, these electrons pair will occupy the less volume, and here size is big, so that's why these electrons will occupy the large volume. So that's why for that donation, you know, sometimes these electrons may be here or here or here or here. Availability will be less. But here you see, they occupy less volume, so that's why where they are present we can easily find out. So that's why they can easily donate the electrons. Simple ma. One person is staying in one room, one small room. Clear? We are going to find him. We can easily find because he is staying in only one room. Availability of him is maximum in one room, but you are going to very big room, very big house. There's a big house big house contains means having so many rooms. So where he is to find out, it is very difficult. Availability of this person is very difficult. Availability difficult. How they can give the electrons to others? So that's why which one is having the small size and that can donate the electrons very easily. Clear ma? So that's why if I write the basic nature, ammonia is strong base compared to the others. So that's why what we will call ma here SbH3 and what it is ma here BiH3. So this is about the what it is ma here basic nature. And next one is here solubility. Next one what it is ma here solubility. So last property here solubility. If I take here solubility, clear? Solubility means what it is, which molecule will easily soluble, which molecule can form the hydrogen bonds easily with the water molecule, that can easily soluble in water. Clear? Because you know nitrogen and ammonia, nitrogen can form the, because highly electronegative element can easily form the hydrogen bonding. So that's why ammonia can easily form the hydrogen bonds with the water molecule, so it easily dissolves in water compared to the other hydrides. So that's why what is the order of solubility here? NH3, PH3, AHH3, SbH3, and what it is here? BiH3. Clear ma? So this is solubility order. Why NH3 is having high solubility? Because it can form hydrogen bonds with what it is here? Water molecules. With water molecules. So these are about the properties, very very important. First one I mentioned here, melting point, first one boiling point, melting point, stability, reducing power, and basic nature, and these are about the properties of which one here? Hydrides. See here, so these are important, I already mentioned, which are very very important for the competitive. And melting point order, boiling point we have discussed. Stability we have already discussed. NH3 is more stable compared to the BH3, because here bond is not that much strong, because big molecule and small molecule the bond is very weak. So that's why. And NH3 reducing power, which is weak bond, which is bond Bi and H bond easily breaks, and that can give the hydrogens very easily, so that we will call as a reducing power. Reducing power means which can give the hydrogens easily, that will have the highest reducing power. So which one can give hydrogens easily? BiH3, so having highest reducing power. Basic nature means it depends upon the lone pair of electrons. So which lone pair of electrons are easily available for the donation? Nitrogen, because is small size, so it lone pair of electron occupies very small volume, so that's why it can, if anyone asks electrons, then nitrogen can easily give, because nitrogen need not to find where the electron pair is, because electron pair is there in small volume. Nitrogen can easily hold that one, and it can give the pair of electrons to other. But bismuth is having big size, and bismuth to donate electrons to others, it has to find where its pair of electrons, because the electrons are occupying the large volume. So where it has, bismuth has to find out, and after then it will donate. So that's why, and it will have the less basic character. And next one is bond angle, that I have already discussed. Bond length here, bond length means nitrogen and hydrogen both are small, so that's why bond is strong. When bond is strong, bond length will be short. Bond length will be what it is, short. This is nitrogen and this is hydrogen. Bismuth, and this is bond length, center of you have to take. This is bismuth, and this is what it is, hydrogen, and bond length, it is large. So that's why bond length is large, bond can break easily. So that's why it will have the less stability. So bond length, which one will have highest? BiH3. Solubility I have already discussed. Clear? This is about hydrides. Next one is reactivity towards oxygen, formation of oxides. Clear? So here 15th group elements and forms two types of oxides. Clear? So what are those oxides are here? E2O3 we will call as trioxides, and another one is E2O5 called as pentaoxides. Clear? This is the first one. Means 15th group elements form two types of oxides, and one is trioxides and another one is pentaoxides. Clear? E2O3, E2O5. Clear? And here next point, nitrogen forms many of oxides, because nitrogen has a capability to form the p pi multiple bonds. P pi P pi multiple bonds. So that's why nitrogen can form, and here many number of oxides compared to the other elements of the 15th group. Why? Because other elements cannot form the P pi P pi multiple bonds, we have already discussed. So that's why, and nitrogen can form many number of oxides, and what those we will discuss here. Why? Because of what it is here, because has capability, you can write capability for capability, because nitrogen has capability to form P pi P pi bonds, multiple bond, P pi P pi bonds. Clear ma? You know that here nitrogen oxides are monomeric. Nitrogen oxides are monomers, means in monomeric form. Clear ma? Next one. And if you take phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, oxides are in dimeric form. Dimers, simply what it is here, they are dimers, and these are mainly, nitrogen oxides are mainly monomers. And bismuth oxides, mainly form, bismuth oxides are monomeric. Bismuth oxides are what it is here, monomeric. Clear ma here? So this is reactivity, means it can form the trioxides and pentoxide. Nitrogen can form many number of oxides because has a capability to form the P pi P pi multiple bond with the oxygen atom. Nitrogen, most of the nitrogen oxides are monomers, and phosphorus, arsenic, antimony oxides are dimers, and bismuth oxides are monomers. Now I will write here one table. So what is oxides here, and first I will write here element, clear ma? And here elements are nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony, and next one is what it is ma? Bismuth. And here oxidation states, clear ma here? This is clear ma? So these are elements, and this is oxidation state. Clear ma? So I already mentioned here nitrogen can form many number of oxides. So +1, +2, +3, +4, and +5. Clear ma? Nitrogen can form many number of oxide because of which one? Pi 1. So +1 N2O, nitrous oxide, nitric oxide, N2O3, N2O4, or it can be written as a NO2, and here N2O5. Means most of the nitrogen oxides are monomers. Clear ma? And phosphorus form mainly and dioxides and trioxides and pentoxides, but they are in which form? They are in dimeric form. Actually it should form what it is, P2O3, but they are in which form? P4O6. P2O5 it should form because P2O5, but what it is? P4O10. They are in dimeric form. Same, arsenic also will form. It will form also tetroxide, but it is unstable. We are not discussing that. O4, AS4O6, and AS4O10. And the next one what it is? Bismuth. If you take bismuth also, not bismuth, antimony. If you take SB4O6, and here also SB4O10, and last one what it is? Bismuth. Mainly it will form and Bi2O3 and Bi2O5. Clear ma? See here the table. If you see the table here, oxides. Clear ma? So this is about the what it is oxides. Nitrogen form many number of oxides. Phosphorus, arsenic and antimony form only trioxides and pentoxides, but which are in dimeric form, and bismuth form trioxide and also which oxide ma? Pentoxide. If you see the now we will discuss about the acidic character. Clear ma? What is acidic character and what happens here if you are moving from the left to right. And clear ma? For nitrogen means all nitrogen oxides also we will discuss, and we will discuss the acidic character of remaining oxides also, and this is about the table of oxides. Next one is we have to discuss about the acidic nature of different oxides here. So first I will discuss about the acidic nature among the nitrogen oxides. Clear ma? So you see, and if you go for N2O nitrous oxide to nitrogen pentoxide, what happens to the acidic nature? Clear ma? You know that the oxides of the same elements, acidic character increases with the increase in oxidation number. Clear ma? Element oxides with same element, oxides of same elements, acidic character increases with increasing the oxidation number. What is the oxidation number ma? Here +1 and here +2, +3, +4, and what it is ma? +5. Clear ma? You know that simple. If you apply the Lewis acid and basic theory, if you apply, you know that if it is having +5 oxidation state, then you know positive means it needs more electron. It has much capability to gain the electron, accept the electron. You know, according to the Lewis acid, electron pair acceptor is a acid, electron pair donor is a base. If it is having the highest positive charge, means it is highly electron deficient. If highly electron deficient, and also nitrogen is highly electronegative atom, highly electron deficient, so it has the maximum tendency to accept the electrons. So that's why it is a strong acid. Clear no? So that's why acidic character, if I write here, so this is acidic character, you know, and these two oxides are, you know, these two oxides are what it is ma? Here neutral actually. We will discuss neutral. Clear ma? So acidic character, you know, acidic character increases means oxides of, if you write here, oxides of same elements, oxides of which one ma? Here same element, oxides of same elements, you know, acidity, acidic character or acidity increases with increase in oxidation state, with increase in oxidation state. That is the point. Clear ma? And coming to, this is the first one. Coming to the second, among the, you know, oxides, trioxides, N2O3, P4O6, it is a dimer, ASO3 and Sb4O6, and if I write here Bi2O3, all are trioxides only. These three are in dimeric form. Clear ma? What is the acidic nature here? Clear? So you know that oxides of different elements, the acidity increases with the electronegativity. Clear ma? So among the nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth, and which element will have the highest electronegativity? Nitrogen. So nitrogen will have the highest electronegativity, means you know it has the more capability to accept the electron. Accepting of electron means we will call it as a acidic nature. So which one will have the highest electronegativity, and that oxide will have the, means that oxide is the more acidic. So that's why this is the acidic order. Clear ma? So here what you have to write, oxides of different elements, oxides of which one ma? Different elements. You know, these are all oxide, but elements are which one? Different. But these all are oxide, elements are which one? Same. That is, so different elements, how the acidity, acidic nature or acidity increases with what it is ma? Increasing electronegativity. That is, En means what it is ma? Electronegativity. Electronegativity increases, acidic character increases. So nitrogen is the, you know, highest electronegativity element in the 15th group element. So it is same for the, you know, this is almost basic oxide, because N2O3, P4O6, if you are moving to Bi2O3 means, you know, it will have the bismuth is a metal oxides are which one ma? Metal oxides are basic in nature, so that's why it is a base. oxide is basic. Clear? So that's why I have not written here Bi2, Bi4O6. So here also what it is ma? Third one also concept is same. Clear ma? So say oxides of different elements and oxidation state means electronegativity increases. You know acidic nature also increases. Clear ma? So this is about the acidic nature of which one? 15th group oxides. Next one is reactivity towards halogen. Clear ma? Formation of halides. Formation of halides. Clear? And you know this 15th group elements form two types of halides. One is trihalides. One is trihalides. Another one is pentahalide. EX5. Clear ma? Pentahalide. Pentahalide. Clear ma? Two types of halides it will form. One is trihalide and another one is penta. E means what it is ma here? E is equal to 15th group elements: nitrogen, phosphorus, arsenic, antimony and bismuth. X means what here? Halogens. Halogens means what it is ma? Fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Clear ma? So two types of halides. First we will discuss about the trihalides, and after then we will go for the pentahalides. Put the heading here trihalides. Clear ma? Put the heading trihalides. Clear? If I see the trihalides here, same like hydrogen here, EH3. Now here instead of hydrogen here which one is there? Halogen atom is there. So what is the hybridization here? Hybridization, you see, just it is E is there, and here there will be a X, and here also what will be there? X, and there will be one lone pair of electron, because 3 bond pairs. And here nitrogen means, suppose if you take nitrogen NH2 NP3, 3 unpaired electrons involved in the bond formation with 3 halogen atoms, and one lone pair of is there, that is one lone pair. So what is the central atom here? I already mentioned what is the hybridization. Hybridization formula I have already given. Simple trick: number of bonds, sigma bonds plus lone pair of electrons, free lone pair of electron. Total how many? 3 plus 1, 4. 4 means what is the hybridization? sp3. Clear ma? Number of bond pairs means bond electrons. How many bonds are there, that is plus lone pairs. Bond pairs how many? 3 bonds are there. Bond pairs 3, lone pair 1, 3 plus 1, 4. 4 means 1s and 3 free. So what is the hybridization here? Hybridization is sp3 hybridization. Clear ma? So means that hybridization, the central metal element hybridization in the trihalides is what it is ma here? sp3 hybridization. So what is the shape of the molecule? Clear ma? You know that how many bond pairs are there? 3 bond pairs and here 1 lone pair. So 3 bond pairs and 1 lone pair. What is the shape of the molecule? Previous we have discussed pyramidal. Pyramidal shape. What is the shape ma here? It is the shape here is pyramidal shape. Clear ma? So what is the here? This is the pyramidal shape. If I take suppose nitrogen means here there will be a nitrogen, and if I take chlorine here instead of, this is the X. Clear ma? And next one is very important. Trihalides are predominantly covalent. Trihalides are which one ma here? Trihalides. Trihalides are predominantly covalent. They are covalent. Clear ma? So covalent, predominantly covalent means they will show both the covalent character and ionic character, but mainly which character they will show? Covalent character. You know that. And down the group, covalent character decreases. Covalent character of trihalides decreases down the group, whereas ionic character increases. Ionic character increases. Clear ma? If you are moving down the group, covalent character of these trihalides decreases and ionic character increases. Suppose if I write simple thing here, NF3, clear ma? NF3 and PF3, BIF3, ASF3 and SBF3 and BIF3, clear ma? You know that up to here these all are covalent compounds, and this one is a ionic compound. This is which compound ma? Ionic compound, and this will show the both the covalent and ionic, both the covalent and which one ma here, and ionic, both the covalent and ionic. See here, so that's why if you are moving from the NF3 to BIF3, covalent character decreases and ionic character increases, as I already mentioned, clear ma? For the covalent compound, you know, cation should be small, anion should be large, clear ma? So if you take N here, N means, you know, if I write here N plus and F minus, clear ma? So cation is nitrogen, anion is fluorine, cation is small. If cation is small, then which character it will show? Covalent character will have the high polarizing power, clear ma? Now if you take bismuth, BIF3, BIF3 means what it is ma? Bi plus 3 plus 3F minus, clear ma? So here cation is bismuth and anion is fluorine. Fluorine is common here, just neglect. Nitrogen you see positive charge, bismuth is having the positive charge, clear ma? So what you will get here? And you know, bismuth is bigger in size, cation is large in size, cation in large in size means which compound it is? Ionic compound. Mainly it will form with high electronegative element. If cation is large, then it will form which compounds? Ionic. But here cation is small. Cation is small means which compounds it is? Covalent compound. I already mentioned Fossen's rule. According to the Fossen's rule, you know, cation should, for covalent character, cation should be small, anion should be large, charge should be high. For ionic, cation should be large, anion should be small, and charge should be less. So that's why, and this is if you are moving down the group of the trihalides, means if you go for the NF3 to BIF3, you know, covalent character keep on decreasing and ionic character increasing. First three elements, you know, these are, it will show mainly covalent character. SBF3 will show the both the covalent character and ionic character, and BF3 is, you know, predominantly ionic. These are predominantly covalent and these are predominantly ionic. And now, so that's why here, and now if you see the stability, clear ma? You know, all trihalides of 15th group except nitrogen, except what it is ma? Nitrogen are stable. Except nitrogen are which one was stable, means all the, if you take the trihalides of the 15th group elements except the nitrogen, all trihalides of the 15th group elements are stable. Means what does it mean ma? Nitrogen trihalides are unstable, clear ma it is? So that's why among the here nitrogen trihalides, clear ma? Nitrogen trihalides, among nitrogen trihalides, among, or you can write here trihalides of nitrogen, trihalides of nitrogen except NiF3 all are unstable. All are which one here? Unstable. Got my point here? So you know all trihalides except the nitrogen trihalides are unstable and remaining all trihalides are stable. Among the, you know, nitrogen trihalides are unstable, but which one is the stable? NiF3 only the stable, and remaining all, you know, nitrogen trihalides are unstable. Why it is NF3 is stable? NF3 is why it is stable ma? Because you know there is a small difference in the sizes of nitrogen and fluorine. Nitrogen also small, fluorine also small. Small atoms means bond will be very strong. So that's why NF3 will be, you know, stable and remaining all trihalides are unstable. So that's why here NF3 will not undergo, means do not undergo hydrolysis. Very important in the competitive. Which of the nitrogen trihalide do not undergo hydrolysis? What is that one here? NF3. Why? Because it is a stable. I will write here NF3 is stable. NF3 is what it is, stable when among the nitrogen trihalides. So that's why NF3, next point, NF3 is stable. So NF3 do not or does not undergo which one here? Hydrolysis. Does not undergo hydrolysis. Clear ma? And if you take remaining NCl3 and PCl3, these are NCl3, it can easily undergo hydrolysis and gives here very important remaining halides easily undergo hydrolysis. NCl3 undergo hydrolysis, you will get the NH3 plus HOCl. Clear ma? So balance here, 3 chlorine atoms are there, take here 3 hydrogens here, 3 hydrogens, 6 hydrogens, so I have to put here. So if you take the PCl3, do the PCl3 and hydrolysis, you will get the H3PO3 plus H3PO3 plus 3 moles of HCl, ammonia, phosphorus acid. What is this one here? Phosphorus acid. This is a phosphorus acid. And in the same way, if I take AsCl3 plus 3H2O, arsenous acid, H3AsO3 plus what it is here? 3HCl. If I take here antimony trichloride, Cl3 and H2O, and it will undergo and SbOCl, antimony oxychloride and 2HCl. Clear ma here? So this is antimony oxychloride. And in the same way, BiCl3 and do the hydrolysis, what you will get ma? You will get the bismuth oxychloride and HCl. This is clear ma? And very important thing is here, why NCl3 and PCl3 you see hydrolysis. NCl3 hydrolysis you are getting ammonia, but PCl3 hydrolysis you are getting H3PO3. Clear ma? Why? Because means that NCl3 is there, chlorine and chlorine. If you treated this one with the water, first of all water should attack on the nitrogen. Clear ma? It is nitrogen. Then what will happen here? You see, nitrogen should make a bond with which one? Water. But nitrogen cannot make a bond with the water. Why? Because means nitrogen does not have the empty d orbital to make a bond with the lone pair is there. To make another bond, the d orbital should be empty. So that's why water will not attack on the nitrogen. Clear ma? So that's why water, where it attack on the this one, then what charge you will get? Nitrogen will get the negative charge. Clear? Or simply you can say nitrogen is more electronegative than the chlorine. Or water will attack here, then what will happen here? There will be a chlorine and H and positive charge. One of the hydrogen will remove here and ClOH you will get H plus, and H plus means nitrogen is negative charge and NH will be added here. 3 times NH3 and HOCl you will get it. That is the reason. Clear ma? But here water will attack on the phosphorus. Phosphorus has the empty d orbital, it can make a bond. Clear ma? So next one is phosphorus, arsenic, antimony trihalides. Act as Lewis acids. Act as which one ma here? Lewis acids. Clear ma? You know that why they can act as a Lewis acids? Because they have the empty d orbital to accept the pair of electrons. So that's why PCl5. And if I take here SbF3 plus 2F minus, and I will get the SbF5 and here 2 minus complex. They can make a bond with the elements, with the molecule and ions. Why? Because, and these all having the d orbital, they can make the extra bonds, but nitrogen cannot. So that's why they all can act as a which one ma? Lewis acid. But nitrogen trihalides, which one ma here? Nitrogen trihalides. Nitrogen trihalides act as Lewis bases. Lewis bases. Why ma? Nitrogen halides cannot act as a Lewis acids. Why? Nitrogen cannot make a bonds with these chlorine atoms and fluorine atom. To make a bond with this one, it should have the empty d orbital, but it does not have, the nitrogen does not have the empty d orbital, so that's why it cannot form a extra bonds. So that's why, and it act as a, because nitrogen halides, if I take suppose NF3, NCl3, NBr3, Ni3, if it is there, you know, they have which one ma? Lone pair of electrons. So that's why they donate the lone pair of electrons to other electron pair donor, what we will call bases. So that's why they act as a, you know, Lewis bases. What is the basic character here? Basic character this is. Why? Because nitrogen and fluorine, if you see, fluorine is more electronegative than the nitrogen. So that's why these electrons, it will move towards the nitrogen, means fluorine. So that's why the lone pair of electrons, availability of the lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen is less, because these electrons mainly moves towards the which one ma? See ma, simple here, nitrogen is there, and here fluorine and fluorine and fluorine. These bond pair electrons are which side ma? Fluorine side, because fluorine is more electronegative. So that's why this bond pair electrons also it will try to pull towards the fluorine. So that's why, and this lone pair of electrons available on this nitrogen is less. But here you see Ni3 means, you know, iodine, and here there will be a iodine, and here also iodine. Nitrogen and iodine, which one is more electronegative? Nitrogen. So that's why these electrons move towards the which one? Nitrogen. On the nitrogen, electron density will be more, because electrons are moving towards nitrogen. Electron density is more, it can easily donate the electrons to others. That we will call as a basic character. So this is the basic character, and this is about the trihalides of the 15th group elements.